All right, so the opening scene essentially is just basically saying you'd have to be crazy to be a superhero. Only crazy people want to be superheroes, essentially. And we got Dave. I can't remember his fucking last name. It starts with an L. Once when they get to there. But right now, I believe it's Dave who's narrating the opening scene. But yeah, it's if you watch the movie, there's a lot of similarities to it, but there are some differences. I personally, once again, I mean, the book hypothetically, typically, always is better, but not always, but usually. Anyway, I'm gonna continue. And then the other on this, literally the second page, it shows essentially what like one of the worst case scenarios of becoming a superhero and involving yourself in a life of crime or fighting a life of crime. You get what I mean. Dave is essentially, the average kid. I mean, not the total, not the average nerdy kid. Geeky. Can't really get with girls because he's just too socially awkward. I don't know. Some people, I've not been one of those people that was. I mean, I could relate with Dave essentially. There are other people that just fucking could easily, walk amongst the crowds and socialize with whoever. I normally keep to myself. I mean, I can. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're not talking about me. Dave just didn't see any potential in himself either. I mean, maybe it's because I don't know. Maybe he just knew that he couldn't afford college, so he was essentially just same life as what his father's going through. Essentially, mother died. So he's got a little sadness in him, and he's got, I would say, a little bit of angst in him, a little bit of extra angst in him, compared to other people who doesn't have a mom. So maybe that's the reason he jumped to such a crazy ass fucking idea. But that's probably not always the case. Dave doesn't immediately become kick-ass, but it's like a build-up, and I mean, by page 4 or 5, he's already starting to talk about being a superhero in real life, or just how just someone trying to help while wearing a mask. Already, like some of the dialogue, they're joking about how Galactus was a dust cloud in one of the Fantastic Four movies. But then saying it'd been better if he honestly was actually just this giant coming down from the universe, or from I don't know, from space. Which some people would have, I guess. I mean, Dave saying would have found it funny, way funnier. Basically, what works on the page doesn't always work on screen. I think that's wrong. I mean, we're not. You see not Galactus, but Thanos. Thanos has like a fucking pruny ass fucking face. Are you telling me people don't find that ridiculous at all? Like, he didn't really even have to change his costume much. I mean, I don't know. I think there's definitely a way of going about it. I don't know, you could have made it so Galactus was so big that literally he's Earth is a Cheerio to him or something like that. I don't know. Though a giant purple giant specifically, a purple giant is a little weird and unorthodox. That comes from space to eat planets. A little weird, yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about that. But I think once again, there's always a way. There's a way around everything, I think, and some people just think it's just best to. I don't know, replace or switch it around or change it slightly, alter it, whatever. I mean, the dialogue is very reminiscent to me in the same way of a Kevin Smith dialogue, how he writes dialogue. I mean, it definitely sounds like kids are like teenagers are talking, specifically nerdy kids. The artwork is very cartoony, but I mean, if I were to draw comics, I would love to draw kind of, not exactly like this, but in a cartoon I mean, why does it always got to be so realistic? It's cool to draw in a realistic aspect, to have everything in ratio and perspective, form, whatever, all that shit. But I don't know. And like I said, this isn't perfect, but I do really like how it's drawn. But I'm sure they had to, I mean, one of my professors is still a comic book artist, and he said you gotta replicate reality before you can replicate a cartoon world. But which, I mean, I don't think it's totally true. I just think that would probably make things a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, Dave's making some crazy points. I mean, I agree with some of them, but a lot of it has to just do with social aspects. Like he's like, why do people want to be Paris Hilton and nobody wants to be Spider-Man? And they were just saying how rock stars make millions of dollars, superheroes get nothing. And Dave's like, does everything have to be about money? I know I said that in like a complete different order, but fuck you. Dave gets the costume and he realizes how crazy it would be for anyone to even know what he's doing. And he almost gets caught almost immediately. And once again, some of this artwork's pretty cool. Like one of the early scenes of Mass, or it's like the page right after Dave's dad leaves. You see like a half full, one full page, not the full spread page or whatever, full page spread, but a half page spread or whatever the fuck, I don't know, whatever the fuck that means. But the artwork anyway, he's got like the artwork is in a costume like in his I don't know how to even describe it, but it's really cool. I don't know, it's like a shadows, I don't even fucking know what it'd be called. But yeah, continuing. But Dave found his identity anyway. Whatever makes him feel comfortable, and I guess doing good. No one knowing you're doing good. That's you that's doing it. I guess he's trying to be. It's a vigilante effort, but trying to be a good Samaritan. I guess. Feels really good about it. Gives him meaning to life. And once again, it's his identity. He's found his identity. He knows exactly who he wants to be. He knows that he won't. Hold on, I got a call. But he's got, he's found. Not only has he found his identity, he's found meaning to life. To a reason why he should work out. I mean, he wasn't working out beforehand because he didn't see a fucking reason to. He didn't. You know what I mean? Like, he just lived however he wanted to live, but he didn't. I don't know. He didn't know the full extent. He didn't. He still wasn't living the life he wanted to live, I guess. And if you don't live the life you want to live, you probably, you know what I mean? If there isn't a life you care to live, then you're probably pretty carefree and don't care to do anything at all, which is okay. You just, you go through the world and you fucking make money and you save up and you have a family, or you decide not to have a family, you go on vacation more often, whatever the fuck you want to do with your life, do whatever you want to do. And this is, I don't know, is he taking all his vitamins now? Is he eating as healthy as he possibly can? I don't know. It just looks like he's a lot happier now. Now, even though he's done something, this is a crazy idea. And maybe someone could even say this is almost psychosis in a way, psychotic. But we're about to get to his first encounter with some bad guys. I guess for it says in the first couple weeks he kind of just was like training and just like getting ready, just feeling comfortable in the costume itself. But now it's time to make the first fucking move. Kick ass, or Dave gets his ass kicked. He actually he assaults them. First and foremost. Even if they were like spray painting and shit, I don't think superheroes aren't supposed to do that shit. You're supposed to let that shit. It's sort of more of a self-defense thing, but Dave's new at this, and I don't know. He wanted to do good, but I don't know, man. I don't know if those were even the right kids. They were just spray painting and shit. But I'm sure that that's not the only thing that they do. But Dave gets stabbed. The most logical thing happens to him in the first time he does this. And this is just to really show. I think Mark Millar is really just showing there have been comics in the past that have shown why you shouldn't be a superhero and why you even shouldn't be a teenage superhero or a fucking sidekick or whatever. But this is just a real reason as to why you probably wouldn't want to get involved with something like this. He just got stabbed, and in a moment or two, I think he gets hit by a fucking car, and you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I think the car's super bad luck, but it just kind of really shows you when I watch Shameless, it's kind of just showing you the most extreme things that happen to people. Because it's a fucking TV show. Why shouldn't it? But sometimes it can get. I can say that sometimes it can get way too dramatic or just over over fictitious, I guess. Overly fictitious. Excuse me. But I'm gonna continue. Dave gets really fucked up, like a bunch of. I think he says at the very end of issue 1. I just was jumping on to issue 2 already. My bad. Let me. He says, 2 broken legs, my spine crushed, and dressed like a fucking pervert. That's how issue 1 ends, and going into issue 2, he's in the hospital, and he's all fucked up. And long story short, he now has like metal plates and shit in his body. He doesn't feel like doing any of that superhero shit anymore. In fact, like, he hates superheroes and stuff after the whole entire thing. You know, he almost lost his life. He realized that he almost was fucking, like, a bunch of bad shit. So he just decided, fucking, I'm gonna burn all my fucking, or he's gonna burn all his comics and just, like, never do that again. He essentially did what Spider-Man once again did with throwing away his costume. But eventually he couldn't do it any much longer, so he fucking dons the costume again. Like, he just, you know, this is something that he's always wanted to do, even though this is a giant scare for him. I guess I jumped way ahead of myself a couple of pages, but because of this entire thing, yes, it could have been seen as a sidestep or even a reason to stop. But I guess the benefit to all of this, in this case anyway, is that he now has metal plates in his body, so he can take a bigger beating, and it's not as much of a big deal. But once again, I said I'm jumping ahead of myself. I forgot to mention, but Dave's dad does not find out Dave's kick-ass or doing any of that shit. He just found, apparently, Dave was strong enough to take off all of his clothes and put them underneath the car. Yeah, he was naked on the streets, so that's even more concerning. Once again, he had broken bones, a ruptured spleen, and 1 collapsed lung and head trauma. I mean, they almost kind of were playing it off like he might never be able to walk again, but I mean, like I said, I kind of jumped ahead. The paneling is like pretty straightforward, and if you watch the movie, there are some scenes that are like pretty much like canon, or pretty much canon, or, you know, word for word or whatever the fuck, transcribed from page to screen. Not all of it, but a lot of it. Some of it. Most of it. 70%, 76%. I don't know. Percent. Dave Lizewski. That's how you say it. Lizewsky. Lizewski. Dave Lizewski. And you know, this is worst case scenario once again. He said, after 4 operations, 2 months of counseling, 3 metal plates fitted inside my head, and endless weeks of physical rehabilitation, I finally realized why there's no such thing as superheroes in the real world. Which is pretty sad, but I don't know. You could relate this once again to rock stars and shit. You know, wouldn't it be nice to have a career like that where you're fucking wanted and loved by everybody? Some people don't want that. But in this case, I mean, like, you know, he could have been cherished as Kick-Ass, but no one would have ever known it was Dave, and, you know, maybe that's for the best, but, so you really can, like, it's almost like that persona can get all the beating. Dave doesn't have to. He also realized, you know, he checked out all the bills that his dad now has to pay because of him, and he said he cried for 3 straight hours. So once again, there's such a huge-ass consequence by doing something so naive and stupid as following a dream that's so fantasy-based. And once again, maybe I'm doing the same fucking thing with this podcast, with everything I'm doing. It just should be left to be done for fun, and that's it. But I don't know, I think that's kind of bullshit. I don't know. Once again, you kind of see him. He burned all his comics, but like within, he says, as soon as I was off the crutches, I was back pounding the streets as Kick-Ass again. So I don't know, man. Sometimes you just can't give up because you just don't want to give up. Second time in the last 24 hours, I think I've seen the phrase "count your blessings" or "count." In this case, as a wise man counts his blessings. I think it's Shameless. It also said there's this phrase saying "count your blessings." So I'd be ignorant to ignore that. All right. The second time, honestly, I think was a little bit more effective because second encounter fighting criminals. Because this time now it's self-defense, and not only that, he's actually protecting a citizen. The other one, I mean, the criminals really weren't doing anything. They were kind of just, fucking, they're just spray painting and shit. Just call a cop or something like that for that. There's nothing you can really do. And it's not like they're gonna fucking stop. You can't really. So now this time he kind of got his shit right. I don't know if he even realized it. It's kind of like a happy accident. And it was an accident. The guy, like literally, a criminal ran into, well, not a criminal, but the fight or crime came to him, I guess. Whereas he went to crime the first time. Maybe that's the best. You gotta find crime. Don't let. Oh well, crime's gotta find you. You can't find crime if you're gonna be a superhero. I guess. Not always, but instead of anyone wanting to help, they end up filming the whole fight. He was able to thwart off the criminals. He was able to save the guy. And all he was able to say was "thank you." I don't know. It's a sentimental moment, man. It's cool. He just successful in what he wanted to do. The other cool thing is that he's now a viral sensation. This is the beginning of number 3. He's on YouTube. Well, specifically the fight of him is on YouTube of him fighting specifically the Puerto Ricans, but they're just, in this case, they're just a bunch of guys that are beating down another guy. They were chasing another guy, and he stopped them from killing the guy or whatever. But shit's about to get crazier now. Alright, so for issue 3, like I said, Dave, he's now become pretty viral. He's become pretty popular. One thing I just want to notice is the one gang leader, I can't remember his fucking name right now, Mr. Genovese. He sees Kick-Ass, he saw the Kick-Ass footage, and he's like, "Oh, Jesus, not another one." So there have been some in the past. I guess some of them just never got got popular. I guess became public or whatever. A lot of it, which that's typically probably how it went. So like a similar situation with like Dave and Peter Parker. Just like the before and after, like gaining confidence. I mean, he's more comfortable with exactly who he is and knows exactly who he is in comparison to everybody else, and that's giving him confidence. I mean, it could have been negatively affecting him, but negatively affecting him. But in this case, I mean, once again, he's got now newfound confidence, and he's willing to even talk to the crushes that he's interested in. I guess it goes crashing down because dramatically, through, I guess, high school dramatics anyway, everyone's assuming that the whole thing that happened to him was actually him pimping himself out and actually getting like mugged or whatever. So everyone just thinks that he's a gay prostitute, which is fucking ridiculous. But I mean, even I've been in high school, and you know what I mean. Like, it's not that far fetched, honestly. Most people have gone to high school. Fuck. I mean, his crush thinks that he's gay, but he's willing to act gay so they can hang out, I guess. Because he knows that, or I don't know. Apparently, he knows that when he comes out as actually being straight, they wouldn't want to hang out anymore, I guess. I mean, I've gotten myself not in exactly the same situation, but yeah. It's fucking high school. What are you gonna do? Some of the thought bubbles that Dave has is Dave Lazuski had 8 friends on MySpace, and Kick-Ass had thousands. I think that tells you everything you need to know. Nobody really knows, I mean, anything about Kick-Ass, so there's really you can't really say you do or do not like him. I mean, all you can really base is on his costume, and maybe, I mean, clearly you could see the color of his skin and whatnot, and probably tell that it's a dude, most likely. But also, the only other thing you can take it on is just on merit is just literally the fight that he was virally famous for now. So in comparison, like Dave, who's just a complete nobody. I mean, why the hell would anyone even want to be friends with him in the first place? Compared to someone who I guess has proved their worth through a fight that somehow got really popular. I don't know. This is, I guess, one of the first differences compared to the movie and comic. He decides to take his first mission. He went on MySpace, made him started a MySpace page so people could contact him and he could maybe help him out. He said for some reason he chose this one over a bunch of other ones, and I think it's because, in my opinion, it's probably because it was just a girl that asked, and so he was doing it for a girl, which, once again, that's just human. That's why I like Mark. I mean, Mark's just, yeah, he could have just, he could have done the first one, but I mean, it could have been like one could have been just like cat saving a cat. Another one could have been this or that. And I think even in the movies, he ends up like doing that with a cat or whatever. Saving a cat or whatever. But yeah. When he arrives to the location where he's supposed to go and solve the problem, he's being taken as a joke. Which, I mean, he's just walking around with a scuba fucking costume, so, or scuba gear. Well, not scuba gear, just the fucking the scuba suit. There's hella gore in this fucking comic. I mean, a lot of comics. I guess I fucking like a lot of media. I guess there's a lot of gore. I guess not. I mean, I'm actually not even particularly. I don't care that much for like even like say the movie Drive. There's some gore that happens towards the end of it, but like in this instance, the main dude that Kick-Ass is supposed to deal with was gonna go and probably kill Kick-Ass just now, but Hit Girl, one of the other characters that kind of just showed up out of nowhere, just stabbed him right through his fucking chest from the back. And I think these are I mean, I was wondering, I was like, I mean, are they kind of just referencing that there were past superheroes and superheroines that tried, being superheroes in the real world? But I guess they're probably referring to Hit Girl and Big Daddy. But besides the one dude getting stabbed through the chest, another guy gets like sliced through his stomach, and he's gonna have fucking pieces of him falling out of his stomach. They also got the same dude also had his fucking head just chopped into a nice section right off his fucking. I mean, that guy's dead as fuck. But it's a lot of cool ass action for sure. And that pretty much ends chapter 3. And going into chapter 4, looking at Big Daddy, he doesn't honestly look that cool. And in fact, if I could be real, I do think that the almost parody-like Batman costume that they gave him for the movie, I thought was really cool. But I mean, they could have changed it a little bit more, making it so it's not. I mean, they were once again trying to make parody Batman's costume, I'm sure. But issue number 4 starts with. I mean, it continues on with that fight from 3, the end of 3, and it's just her chopping up people, chopping arms off, chopping legs off, katana through the head, katana through the back. And I mean, it's a lot of gore. So when they show Hit Girl tumbling, I guess, from making the landing the jump and then tumbling into continue running. As I mentioned in the old old Daredevil issues, they did 2 different versions of like the tumbling effect, where they want to show multiple versions of like the person in action, but through one panel or whatever. In this case, they do a really good job. I like it. I just felt like making note of it. They keep that one scene where the guy gets crushed in the car compactor machine. Pretty dope, gory ass scene. Once again, I don't know why. I'm not much of actually a gore person, but some of that shit, just sometimes it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ. But that's the end of 4, going into 5. So now we got, for the beginning of 5, we got this one new guy called the Red Mist. It ends up being revealed that it's the gang leader's son who buys a bunch of comics. Johnny G's kid or whatever. I don't know his fucking name. But he suddenly became popular. It kind of just shows you that, once again, like, whatever is cool, someone could just pay for it and get the same kind of attraction without even fucking doing anything, just paying for it. That's all they gotta do. Alright, just finished 5. It was Dave and Red Mist. I can't remember Red Mist's name. They were just kind of chilling. They save a cat from a burning building. Ends with Big Daddy and Hit Girl finding Dave in his house. And going into 6, it goes to a flashback of Big Daddy and Hit Girl testing a gun so that she's gotta get used to getting shot with bullets or whatever, even if she's got a bulletproof vest. Big Daddy's essentially like a Frank Castle character, Punisher. Probably the only superhero or anti-hero that exists out of all of them. And the end of issue 7, I think going into... the end of issue 6 going into 7 is... they were all planning to team up, all 4 of them. Big Daddy, Hit Girl, Red Mist, and Kick-Ass. They were gonna, Red Mist and Kick-Ass converse with each other, saying that they didn't want to do the plan that Big Daddy and Hit Girl were wanting to do. It was in fact just a trap. And like I already said, Johnny G's son is Red Mist, and so it was all just a giant ambush. Going into 7, I mean, that's just a continuation of it. Now, this is the fucking kind of enemy that you fucking never want to get your hands on. Apparently, I mean, they just hooked up a battery to Dave's nuts, and right before they start the electrocution, Red Mist says, "And if I'm absolutely honest, I've always wanted to see you in pain since the first night we met. I've even jerked off about it. Does that sound weird?" That's fucking insane. Big Daddy admits, I mean, based on pretty much all this torture, he comes out saying he's an accountant. Wife hated him, ran away with his girl. I mean, didn't have any friends, or hated his friends, or his friends hated him, whatever. Made a new life. Essentially, it's just a grown-up version of Dave. So, and like I said, he was selling his comic books so that they can do what he was doing. So he's actually not a fucking Punisher-like character at all. I mean, he is in a way, but he's just literally just some fucking asshole that decided to make a gang leader into a villain. And that's it. Sometimes that's all it takes, and that's fucking pretty insane, but... I mean, hey man, you never know where the fuck anything's coming from sometimes. They just shot a bullet through Big Daddy's face. Now he's dead. The last panel for 7 going into 8 just reminds me... I mean, they were talking about, it's just a little girl in a Halloween costume. One of the quotes of dialogue. But, I don't know, this just looks like a Halloween comic book. But yeah, now going into 8. Hit Girl actually isn't dead. I mean, it's fake. It wasn't really a fake death, but she fell out of a building, getting shot at multiple times. But she came in too late to save her dad. And in comparison to, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, this is a little different from the movie. In the movie, Big Daddy's set on fire, and it's all like an internet thing. Now I've already read this, and once again, watched the movie. If you haven't watched the movie and you haven't read the book, I highly recommend reading the book first. I mean, they always say that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of also desensitized by fucking all this gore, but there's a hella gore going on. I mean, Hit Girl just set a bunch of dudes on fire with a flamethrower. So, I mean, they're just going in to just, like, kind of clean up the job now. Red Mist's name is Chris. Red Mist is trembling, and even if he's got a gun, Kick-Ass beats the living shit out of him with, just a piece of wood, probably from, I want to say from his, the chair he was getting, electrocuted in. But he beats the living shit out of him a couple of times with the piece of wood. Red Mist is out. Not dead, but out. Hit Girl's captured. I mean, definitely towards the end of, this book, it's completely different from the movie. Once again, I honestly prefer the book, and it's a little bit more simple. The movie, they make it a little bit more cinematic. Hit Girl was just in trouble. She was captured and getting her ass kicked with a fucking a meat. I forgot the fuck they call tenderizer. One of those mallets or whatever. But Dave's got the 45 that Red Mist had, and enters the room, and the boss, John, the gang leader or whatever, mob boss, whatever, he says, take it easy, boys. He doesn't have the balls. So Dave shoots him right in his fucking testicle, and I believe one of his testicles just fell out of his pants. But that doesn't really matter because Hit Girl is about to just cleave him in the fucking head. So that kind of pretty much ends it. But, you know, there's a little cleanup. After it's all over, Hit Girl, breaks down because she's still a little girl, and she needs a hug because her dad's dead. And like I said, the cleanup, 34 stiffs were found in that building, and just like every other time Hit Girl took a life, the whole thing was blamed on gang-related violence. The cops knew something was going on, but word online was they actually kind of liked it. Hit Girl and me became a legend on those forums. We were Batman and Robin, Green Arrow and Speedy, Wonder Woman and that dykey-looking chick she used to hang out with in the 40s. But Hit Girl's ambitions died with her father. She wanted to be Mindy McCready for a while, and so we tracked down the mom who had never stopped searching and gave her back the baby she was missing. Now this is the ending of Kick-Ass for the book anyway. I mean, this is once again like realistically typically what happens to a nerd. You know, they don't normally get any chances with the hot chick. And so with this being said, the very end of it, all in all, things worked out pretty damn well. Even me, the biggest asshole in the world, ended up getting laid. Dave, can I ask you something? Sure, Katie. What's up? I wasn't sure if I should say this or not, but a little while back, this guy showed up at my house and yelling that he wasn't gay. That wasn't you, was it? I feel like an idiot even asking, but actually, it was me. What? I'm not gay. I made the whole thing up. Shut up. Seriously, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. But what the hell? Maybe it's time you heard the truth. I love you, Katie. You're the last thing I think about before I go to bed and the first thing I think of when I wake up in the morning. I knew I wasn't cool enough to be your boyfriend, but I figured that being your gay best friend would let me get to know you, or let you to get to know me, and well, maybe fall in love with me a little too. The truth is, I couldn't be less gay if I tried. Isn't this the part where you're supposed to say you feel the exact same way? Fuck you! Oh God, this was a mistake, wasn't it? You manipulative little prick! How dare you make a fool of me like this? Everything okay here, Katie? No, Carl, everything is not okay. I want you to kick the shit out of this sleazebag asshole. Katie, please, I actually think I might be slightly autistic. My pleasure. Ugh. Okay, maybe not. But at least my dad was getting his rocks off on a daily basis with some hot black chick he met on a grieving forum. Dad? What the hell? Oh God, it's my son. Dave, I'd like you to meet Lucille. Lucille's the hairdresser lady who lost her boyfriend in that gang-related incident a few months back. She and I have been a tremendous support for each other lately, and she's going to be staying for dinner. Nice to meet you, Dave. Nice to meet you too, Lucille. I don't mean to be rude, but I promised Marty I'd play World of Warcraft with him, and I'm already 10 minutes late. By the time I got home, I had 15 abusive texts from Katie's friends and a photo on my phone of her sucking Carl's dick. I'd never felt so low in my life, and I'm ashamed to admit I whacked off at the picture while crying some nights. Now that's the real life right there. That's fucking funny as fuck, man. The book ends with Red Mist kind of dressed up. Actually, he might be dressed. He's slightly dressed up a little different. I think now his hair's showing where it wasn't beforehand. But he was just essentially sending an abusive email to Kick-Ass saying, "Wait until you get a load of me." Essentially, but that pretty much does it for Kick-Ass 1. I'm going to be jumping into Kick-Ass 2. I mean, ideally, I should be technically finished with Kick-Ass 3 today already. But I don't know, it took too much time, I guess. We'll see if I get into Kick-Ass 2 at least today. I'm probably not going to do the third one. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I mean, after reading it now, it still holds up in my opinion. But I'm not going to hold it much longer. If you enjoy this, once again, GRMBLS. It's on social media, Twitter and Instagram. Working on all this stuff. Finished a couple things. I'm just going to keep pushing forward. Thanks for listening, and take care.